Trade rumors are hot around the Miami Dolphins right now. Yesterday, we posted this video about the latest around the Dolphins and potentially trading away some players. Adam Schefter and ESPN had a bunch of reports. Today, we're actually going to be talking about a potential Jaylen Waddle trade. And it's not my idea, but NFL Insider Tom Pelissero, who I believe is one of the three best insiders in the NFL right now, he went on the Rich Eisen show earlier this week and listed out a bunch of wide receivers that could be dealt before the November 4th trade deadline, or at least names to monitor. And in my unbelievable surprise, Jaylen Waddle was one of 6 wide receivers mentioned alongside the 3 in New Orleans, Calvin Ridley and Jacoby Myers. I really was appalled. I'm not kidding. I'll tell the story real quick. I was sitting at my desk doing some work, getting other shows ready here for throughout the week, and we got someone across the bullpen here at the Chat Sports office says, "Rolly, what are your thoughts on the Waddle trade rumors?" Oh, what do you mean? What trade rumors? What are we talking about here? And he goes, "Oh, I'll send you the tweet." And there it was in the list of wide receivers, and I was stunned. Why would the Dolphins trade Jaylen Waddle? Well, we're going to talk about the hypothetical here in just one second, but I wanted to get a temperature check of the Dolphins fans right now. Would you consider trading Jaylen Waddle this year before the November 4th trade deadline? Y for yes or N for no. I'll be looking to see your replies. Well, I'll give you my quick thoughts. Absolutely not. I believe Jaylen Waddle is the best asset on the Dolphins roster right now. And I'm not trading that. Listen, the Dolphins are 1-5. They're a bad football team with a lot of bad football players. That means you should trade away some of the decent ones to try to recoup assets to overhaul and rebuild this team. Agree. But when you have a 26-year-old wide receiver that looks like a wide receiver 1 of the future, you do not trade that away. You try to build around that. I would not even pick up the phone unless I knew I was being offered 2 first-round picks. And you may say, "Nick, that's a little aggressive, don't you think? 2 first-rounders for Jaylen Waddle?" I'll push back and say, absolutely not. Look around the league. There are wide receivers that some teams would dream about getting. Justin Jefferson, I know, different class than Waddle. But, you don't think he's going for multiple firsts? We got talking about a guy who's 26, has put up 1,000 yards every year of his career besides one, and has at least 8-9 years of football left in him, playing at an extremely high level. I'm not getting away from that unless I'm getting 2 first-rounders. But when you think about what Miami already did with Waddle, it doesn't make sense to trade him. It just doesn't. They signed him to a 3-year contract extension last year before he even entered his 5th-year option. The contract extension for Waddle hasn't even started yet. 2026 is the first year of Waddle's 3-year extension. And he's actually extremely cheap in 2026. Now, that changes in the final 2 years where you see his cap hit on the right side of your screen, 10% of the projected salary cap in each of those seasons. But the point I'm trying to make here is the Dolphins made an extreme commitment to Waddle long-term, and rightfully so. So why would they trade him if he has not requested a deal and relationships have gone sour before that extension even kicks in? It sounds stupid when you say it out loud, right? And you've seen such good things from Waddle this season, right? He had a down year, missed some time last season, but you also have to factor in Tyler Huntley, Tim Boyle, and Skylar Thompson playing quarterback for Miami in 6 of the 17 games. So, you'd expect production to go down. But when Tua's out there playing QB, Waddle's putting up numbers. And many people wondered, is he going to be able to still have so much success with a lot of attention on him from opposing defenses because no Tyreek Hill? Answer is no problem. We knew there was going to be no problem because of his rookie season where he had over 100 catches and 1,000 yards. But in the last 2 weeks, without Tyreek Hill, a combined 205 yards on 12 receptions and 1 touchdown. He looks the part. When you envision a wide receiver 1, a leader of your wide receiver room, it is Jaylen Waddle. The blend of athleticism speed in route running that Waddle possesses is second to none. There simply are not 5 players in the NFL that are faster and a better route runner combined than Jaylen Waddle. Does that make him a top 5, top 6 wide receiver in football? No. But when you factor in his traits, that is where he lies. Like, there are better route runners. There are better contested catch wide receivers. There are better route runners. There are better speedy guys. But when you blend all of it together, I don't know if that's the case. Waddle's certainly had drop issues in the past, but I don't think we've seen that many of them this season. And he's made a very big effort to hopefully not have any more drops. He did have one against the Chargers that led to an interception, but then made a great bobble over-the-shoulder adjustment catch later on in the game for 45 yards. And if you traded Waddle, you would then have, well, I would argue, the worst wide receiver room in football. Like, we said in the offseason, you could sacrifice a Tyreek Hill trade because the rest of the room, Waddle included, can be fine at the wide receiver position, which I still believe that. But if you were to lose Tyreek Hill due to injury and then trade Jaylen Waddle, yeah, you're going to have the worst wide receiver room in football without a second of hesitation to say that. Like, I get selling. I do. Because you should trade away players to get future draft capital when you are bad and out of the running. But if you trade Jaylen Waddle, you are creating future issues for yourselves in the process of trading away players at the deadline. Like, you trade away Waddle, even if you got 2 first-round picks. You know what you could argue is one of your biggest needs next offseason is to improve? Wide receiver. So you would trade Waddle away just to need to add more young wide receivers through the draft and free agency. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, there's no point in dealing him away. Even if you get 2 first-rounders, which it would be hard to pass that up because you could help grab your quarterback of the future. You could help build the trenches. You're still lacking at wide receiver. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to trade Jaylen Waddle at this point in your current roster construction or in Waddle's career. More coming up here in a second, including my final word on Waddle, plus some Devon Achane talk. But fall is here, folks, and football, campfires, everything in between. And if you're like most guys, you're still putting in hard work. And yeah, that means sweat. Don't let body odor sideline you. Mando Deodorant Plus Sweat Control is for real working guys. Clinical strength sweat control. One swipe and you're good to go. It controls both sweat and odor for 72 hours. And after just 12 hours, underarm sweat was reduced by 92%. Telling you, this stuff works. Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. I mentioned those deodorant wipes. That is my favorite product they have. And I continuously tell you that because I am always on the go, whether it is at work, whether it is going to golf, run errands, go travel, visit friends. And if I feel like I need to be freshened up and smell a little bit better, the deodorant wipes are there for me. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code CHAT. Use code CHAT at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. Final word on a Jaylen Waddle trade in the topic of that. No world where I trade Waddle, and I'm not even thinking about it unless I would get 2 first-round picks. The Dolphins do not have a lot of players that you can confidently point to right now on the roster and say, these are building blocks of the future. There just isn't, unfortunately as it is. Like, the young guys are not performing up to expectations, and even the veterans are like, yeah, like, we're bad. Like, why are we building with you guys in the future? We should trade you or not re-sign you and commit all the money to you, or in the offseason trade you and save money and take some capital back. Like, there are 4 players, in my opinion, that I can confidently say the Dolphins should not entertain a trade whatsoever. This is my no-trade list. Jaylen Waddle, Devon Achane, Patrick Paul, and Chop Robinson. First-rounder from 2021, second-round pick in 2024, first-round pick in 2024, and then your third rounder running back in 2023 and Devon Achane. Like, the truth is this. These four are all young. They're all 26 or below. They're all extremely productive. And I know that's been a disappointing second season for Chop Robinson, but we've seen him dominate. I think we need to get him on the football field. He's playing 35% of snaps. It's been outrageous. That's a different story for a different day. Other than those four young guys I just mentioned, anybody, and I mean anybody, is available for the right price. And I know some people will talk about Jalen Phillips. Listen, I think he's a really good young player on his fifth-year contract. Same draft class as Jaylen Waddle. I'll explain why he is not likely a part of the long-term future of the Miami Dolphins here in a second. But make sure you do subscribe because we'll have everything you need to know about the Miami Dolphins leading up until the NFL trade deadline, which is November 4th. Subscribe and join the family today. We talked about that Adam Schefter-led Dolphins video off the top here. Well, here were the three trade candidates, if you didn't watch that video in depth, that Schefter mentioned as options for Miami to trade in garnering interest. Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and Jalen Wright. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it today. I think all three should be dealt. Jalen Wright is RB3, been a healthy and active the past 2 weeks. The future at running back is Achane and Ollie Gordon. Trade Jalen Wright for a day 3 pick to the Chiefs or Chargers, who are looking and calling for running backs right now. But Phillips and Chubb are going to be the hottest commodities and the most talked about players on the Dolphins about being potentially traded. Adam Schefter labeled them and said that the Dolphins are a team to watch, and Phillips and Chubb are the two players specifically to keep an eye on. Bradley Chubb, the veteran edge, is a guy that could provide veteran pass rushing leadership for a team looking to go all in this season. And a team would only need to send Miami a 4th or 5th round pick to secure Chubb. Now, the financial implications are complicated for both sides. Miami has a $23.8 million dead cap hit for 2026 if they ultimately trade Chubb before the deadline. So that makes it a little bit more of like, all right, Miami, should you do that? But Jalen Phillips, this is the last year of his deal. He's had an Achilles injury. He's had an ACL injury that cost him basically back-to-back seasons. With that being the case, why should Miami commit long-term serious money to Jalen Phillips? He's been your best passer rusher this season. If a team comes calling and offers you a late day 2, 3rd round pick, or an early day 3, 4th round pick, you should absolutely be trading Phillips because, yes, he is your best pass rusher this season to this point, but it's also like lipstick on a pig. He's your best pass rusher, but you have the worst defense in all of football, and your front seven's been a joke. So it's like, yeah, he's fine, he's good, but he's not helping you win football games. And you can't confidently say he will continue to do that in the future. So trade him. But I do want to go back to Devon Achane here. He was on my no-trade list, one of 4 players, all 26 and below. But there have been multiple people online. I'm not going to say y'all in the comment section because I haven't really seen it that much. But on Twitter, of content creators, beat reporters, suggesting that Devon Achane should be someone Miami takes calls on this deadline to go full fire sale. I disagree. Devon Achane is your best player. Is it good that your running back's your best player? Probably not. But without a question, he has been your best guy. He is the most dynamic offensive player you have. And we did a lot of nice propaganda for Jaylen Waddle earlier in the show. Rightfully deserved. But Achane has been better. He totes it. He makes it happen in the passing game. I mean, this season, he's got 6 touchdowns. He's averaging just under 100 yards per game. And he's got about 600 total scrimmage yards, which is 7th in the NFL, by the way. Like, he is just so dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's able to make plays. He is the most fun player to watch on a week-in, week-out basis. Now, most people will point to this fact right here. Devon Achane is going into the final year of his deal next season. Remember, day 2 pick in 2023, 4-year contract. 23, 24, 25, and 26. So 2026, the last year on his current deal. So you're either going to have to pay up and give him big running back money, which is probably close to 18, 20 mil per season with how young and well he's playing, or you have to look to trade him. And some people want to work ahead of this and say, hey, his value's the highest now because he's under contract again next season. I got to be honest, I know $18 million seems like a lot of money for a running back. It certainly is. I think I'm holding on to him, and we might have to have conversations in the offseason about a potential extension. I'd contemplate it if I was offered a first-round pick. If I got offered a first-round pick for Devon Achane, all right, maybe I accept. But I don't really see that as being something that happens. Now, Chiefs could very well say, hey, we think we could win another Super Bowl here. Let's try to get Devon Achane from Miami. We'll offer a first-round pick, which is likely going to be a late first-rounder in the mid to late 20s anyway. Like, maybe the Chiefs do come offering for Achane in a first-rounder. But the reason why I say that I wouldn't even contemplate, unless it was a first-round pick, is because let's just go a couple years back to when Christian McCaffrey got dealt from Carolina to San Francisco. It was around the deadline. It was in October, I believe. I forget the exact day in October. It was in that month. The Panthers received 4 picks, a second, a third, and a fourth in 2023, and a 2024 fifth-round pick. So it was 4 picks for Christian McCaffrey, but not a first-round pick. And I will take less selections to get a higher draft pick if I was trading Achane and want a first. And why I would believe that I think this would be acceptable for Miami to ask this. When we showed that trade, CMC was 26 years old, which is 2 years older than what Achane is right now. Devon is 24. So if you trade Devon right now, you're trading him at age 24 compared to when the Panthers traded him at age 26. Devon Achane has also never really dealt with injuries. Christian McCaffrey has. Remember, before he got traded to San Francisco, he's dealt with calf. He's dealt with shoulder injuries in the past. Devon's really never dealt with serious injuries. He's been banged up a couple times here and there, concussion, but nothing serious. And let's just look at the first 3 years. Because McCaffrey was traded in his 4th NFL season. Spent 3 years in Carolina, then dealt away. That's just incorrect. I don't know why I said that. Devon's in his 3rd year, so I just wanted to show the two through the first 3 years. But you obviously could see this. McCaffrey was just an absolute volume guy in Carolina. I know Devon Achane's got 14 more games, but Achane will certainly not reach the carries or reception totals by Christian McCaffrey. And he likely won't even catch the receiving yards, but he very well will likely catch McCaffrey's rushing yards. I'm willing to bet Achane's going to get around 830 yards over the next 14 games he plays, right? And I'm willing to bet he's probably going to get 10 touchdowns in the next 14 games he plays. So if you average out Achane to match McCaffrey's first 48 games, first 3 seasons, he's going to be around the same rushing yards and around the same total touchdowns, less receptions, less receiving yards. But it's comparable enough to where you can justify asking for a first-round pick. The price is set. It is. Because think about this. McCaffrey went for a 2, 3, 4, and a future 5th. If you trade McCaffrey 2 years earlier, when he was 24 rather than 26, you might have argued, hey, I'm getting a first-round pick and a 3rd rounder. Because that's how good McCaffrey was with the Carolina Panthers. So I think I am justified in asking for a first-round pick in return for Devon Achane. But I'll also use those same exact statistics and age, points I'm trying to make into why Miami should keep him. And I get it. If you're rebuilding, there's really no need to have an elite running back. Like, an elite running back is like the cherry on top, right? You build a great offensive line. You have an above-average defense. You have your franchise quarterback. All right, now let's add a fun, dynamic running back to really elevate our ceiling, which Miami does not have. So I can understand saying, hey, just get the first-round pick, get the bunch of draft capital in the first 2 days of the draft, and just rebuild the roster. You could find a running back elsewhere. I understand that. I just think it's bad practice to trade him. And the 4 guys I'm not trading, Waddle, Achane, Patrick Paul, Chop Robinson. That's it. That'll do it for today's show. If any trade happens, we'll have you covered. So make sure you do subscribe and join the family here at Dolphins Today. We'll have another video out later in the afternoon as well. So subscribe and wait for it.